it as an intrusion? Are you worried that you might lose a friendship by telling someone something you know may hurt them, or apprehensive about sharing your true feelings? If this is you, then there's something you should know. Truth is not based on who you are or who hears it. The truth stands alone and is not affected by the past, present, or future, for the truth is infinite. Telling the truth is not so you can feel better or vindicated within your own righteousness, nor is it to cleanse your conscience from guilt, to prove unrighteousness, or to change someone's perspective. The truth is told only to set us free. The Word of God confirms that I am the way, the truth, and the life. And John 8:32 tells us, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make us free." So when you are looking to tell the truth, make sure that it's given to set someone free and not bind them under the control of your words of righteousness. Telling the truth can be difficult, but remember, the truth stands alone. So there's no reason for you to make a stance. This has been Reverend Rick McCain with Something You Should Know.
Now boarding the McCain train with Reverend Rick and author Brenda McCain. They're bringing hot and powerful topics regarding relevant issues on marriage, relationships, and life-changing family topics. And they are funny, engaging, energetic, and they bring real talk that reaches beyond the walls of the church. They have been successful because they have discussed topics like, "Help me, I want to grow old," "My addiction is hurting my relationship," "Aborted but not forgotten," "Living in an HIV/AIDS relationship," "The hand that loves me is hurting me." So if you want to know their glory, you have to know their backstory. So get on board the McCain train and listen to the Let's Stay Together Internet Talk Show.
Director of Malcolm Williams and Great Faith, and you're listening to the Let's Stay Together show.
Hello, this is Reverend Rick McCain, and I'm with my wife, author Brenda McCain, my baby, my girl, my boo, and this is the Let's Stay Together show, and we are here and honored to be here with Terry Vaughn. And Terry, we are just so happy to have you here on the Let's Stay Together show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful.
Well, great. Tell us a little bit about your role in this movie, 72 Hours.
You're Ricky Dillon, and you're listening to the Let's Stay Together radio show.
Hello, this is Reverend Rick McCain, and I'm here with my baby, my girl, my boo, author Brenda McCain from the Let's Stay Together show, and I love my wife. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, this is an actor that I love. Mr. Harry Lennox, it is so nice to see you, sir. Thank you for being on the Let's Stay Together show.
Well, thank you, Rick. This is great, and I am honored to be with you and your beautiful wife.
Well, my question for this beautiful lady is she's very modest, and if I can give a shout out to you, because I got approval for it, because this is my girl. I'm taking it back to Liberator from Steve Harvey, but I love all of her work and everything that she does. And she's a 3-time Emmy Award winner, so that's why I said she's modest, and I know you're going to bring to this movie the goodness that you brought to Debbie's little girl, because you was so good as a level-headed girlfriend that kept everything going.
She was mean.
She was level-headed. She was, but I love you.
Very
so you don't do mean roles. I love you.
If you would like to advertise on the Let's Stay Together Talk Show or be a sponsor, contact us at letsstaytogethertalkshow.com and call 708-713-4958. Welcome back to the Let's Stay Together Talk Show. Your next stop, the McCain train.
You are now returning to the Let's Stay Together Talk Show.
Hey, welcome back to the Let's Stay Together show. I'm going to tell you one thing for sure. If you are having a bland relationship right now, these people here will definitely spice it up for you, because we're having a good time here. We're talking about a marriage. My marriage is bland. Help me spice it up. Bring back the flavor in my marriage. Hey, I like that. The flavor. Bring back the flavor. Baby, you gonna bring back the flavor?
I always have flavor. I'm always spicy.
Okay. I mean, what is Tracy offering you anyway?
No, I was trying to
know
tell.
I'm telling everything on the show.
He does tell everything on the show. I'm trying to tell Tracy just to put that in the bowl, sweetie. You don't need to
you ain't got to
work
offer,
easy. That's all. Work
You ain't got to offer no spices. She all right. Come on. What's that question you had there, girl?
I thought she answered it pretty well. You want me to address that one again?
The people here, Eden just the sex therapist.
Okay, she's just the sex therapist.
You said she was our sex therapist before. I'm like, she's not our sex therapist.
The question is, what is the difference between intimacy, sex, and romance? And I'm posing that one to Damon.
All right, well, I would say, to me, it starts, especially in a marriage, it starts with intimacy. Because, true, you can have sex without intimacy. You can have romance without it. But it's never, you're not going to have that full expression of love. I mean, and that's why, if you're not married and, people have sex and stuff, and you're never going to really be fulfilled, maybe for a moment. But then it's like, okay, now you're unhappy and it wasn't right. But when you're married, you got that expression. Romance, like like Leslie said, that's doing the good stuff, trying to, I don't know, for a man, trying to, I guess, always trying to stay on top of his game, trying to do certain things.
They are hilarious, these women watching these men like, okay, say what I told you to say.
They are burning a hole through their cheek. Like, did you read the questions? You read the questions?
You better. She like, you better get the romance part right. I know. So I mean, and Nicole, is he doing okay? Is he answering okay?
He's doing
okay,
good,
great. Okay. I'm about to say, because I mean, he shows his intimacy and romance in those murals. So so I know he know what he talking about over there. I want to just have my psychiatrist over here answer that question, and we can go on. I ain't got a sex therapist, but I do got a psychiatrist, yeah.
Well, I have the sex therapist. Yeah. You have the shrink.
Okay, well, I got the shrink because you got the sex therapist, I guess. But go ahead, Leslie. Talk to me a little bit about that.
No, I think he said it very, very well. The intimacy piece is key. If you have the intimacy, you're going to have the healthy sex life. You're going to have the motivation from your man to have the romance and put that work in to be romantic. And there's all different kinds of intimacy. There is sexual intimacy there. There's also the communication piece. So intimacy comes in a lot of different ways and places. Hobbies, different ways you connect with each other. There's a lot of different ways that you can express that intimacy. So it's important to understand and identify in your relationship kind of where you guys do meet with intimacy and where you guys are like-minded.
Okay.
Are we like-minded, Bill? Be honest.
Are we? No, absolutely not. Our minds are totally different.
Totally.
Mine's is holy, and yours is sex therapist.
Don't set me free now.
Yeah, I definitely ain't setting you free.
Okay, so hey.
What's your next question?
This next question goes to Nicole because she's sexy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This question is when is it so important to figure out the reason as to why sex is no longer a priority?
For me, I think it's one of those times when you realize your spouse is not as happy or they get irritated really easily. For me, I'm on the constant lookout to see if he's at peace or if he's stressing. Then to me, my answer, and I'm just being real, is sex. If I see he's having a bad day, then I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to take this quick trip to the room and handle that so that your day will be better. That's just me. So for me, it's almost like when you're married, you're always seeking out what will make that person a better person. You're trying to find out ways of seeing that if you see a disposition change or if you see a personality change, it's your duty and it's almost like your pleasure to find out how you can see what that person is lacking. In most cases, sex answers a lot of things. I know they say money answers a lot of things, but sex does too.
Oh, she just broke that down.
And we're going to end the show with that question.
Right. Everybody go to your prospective rooms.
Right. Baby, right now I ain't feeling too good. I
Okay, Leslie, can you take control of the show since you've been on here multiple times? You could pass the mic to Eden and then Miss Nicole, and the men that y'all just sit there.
Yeah. So, what were we talking about? Because that answer got me there. What were we talking about again?
Well, we're going to go on to the next question because she just really, boom, boom, bam, that's it. I meet my husband needs, I watch him, I study him like I was studying him and get the answer right. I watch him and I study him and I make him satisfied.
And, in all seriousness, that's a good point. It should be also the man should do that as well. And it's not necessarily that it has to be a sexual intimacy for the woman. You might do something like bring home some flowers or clean up something. There's been times when I've washed dishes and Brenda's been excited about the fact that I've done that. And so it's those small things and understand what your woman needs, that you're paying attention to her so much so that you know exactly what she needs at all times. And so then when she's at a low point, it's your responsibility as well to lift her up. What are you laughing about, woman?
I don't want to say that on the air.
Please, don't. Right. You know what? This, we having some fun as married people, but, you keep yourself clean. I'm going to have Pastor talk to you after this show is over. But, that's the thing about it in relationships that you've got to be able to understand each other and care enough of each other that, you don't allow the boredom to come in. That my philosophy is always give 100% to your wife, and the wife gives 100% to her husband, and not look for something else. If everybody is concerned about giving 100% to each other, then there's no way that boredom get in. It's when we start looking for ourselves, our own needs. I gave you this, why can't you give me something? And when we start doing that, then we start stopping the things that we normally would do with someone, and then boredom sets in because I'm not going to do it because you didn't do it. And so that becomes an issue. As you're looking for papers here, you find what you're looking for, baby. Can I help you out here?
I wish you would, because now I'm mad at myself. I'm usually on point. I had a great relationship letter.
You did?
And I don't see it.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later. Don't like we're going to be doing a relationship letter. But
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Okay, so just go on and go from there. So can you continue to talk?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Can we go to the next question?
Yes, we
You're
can.
all frazzled and bedazzled and all that stuff?
I like things in order. Mm-hmm. I'm that type of person.
Okay.
Order. So anyway, the next question is, what are the steps you can take to cultivate passion back into your marriage? And I'm looking at Rob out the corner of my eye because he looks excited about that.
Come on, Rob. Give us one of those good stories again. That was a good one the last time.
Yeah, I think I'm tapped out on stories. But to bring ensure that passion is involved in your relationship, I think it's really being attentive to what you like, either sexually or emotionally, and what your partner likes, and finding a common ground. A lot of people, joke about, 50 Shades of Grey or bringing in props and tools, and sometimes it's not all that necessary. Sometimes it's just, maybe speaking in a soft voice, or, I know that Leslie likes it when I dress up. I mean in business clothes.
I'm like, what role play?
Wait a minute.
Let me back that up.
Do tell, I guess. She's like,
dress up.
No. The kids are here. The kids are here.
Dress up in a suit and tie.
Okay.
A business suit.
All right.
But it could be a number of little things, and it doesn't always have to be so extreme, is what I'm saying. But if it is extreme, then that's fine, too, within the comforts of, your own marriage. And you shouldn't necessarily be ashamed of that. Again, what's behind your marriage doors and in your marriage bed stays there. Yeah. So it should be a full expression, and that's fine, too. So I think really just paying attention to what your partner likes, what you guys both have talked about in terms of both fantasy and reality, is important to bring it.
Yeah. You okay with it now? You want to say something?
Yeah, I was just saying, with experimenting with things, I think sometimes one of the easiest things that you can experiment with is role play, go out and I'm at the bar and you pretend you don't know me.
And he has a suit on, right?
And he has a suit
dressed
on.
Up, right?
Yeah.
A business suit.
He's out on business, So So yeah, I think it's fun and interesting ways you can spice things up that aren't all the way to the left, that make things fun and interesting and makes you remember what you fell in love with before and why you fell in love with that person.
Yeah,